7:14 on this beautiful Friday. Bob's at microphone number 2. Of course, Bob and Linda Zdora of the Z-Team Century 21 LeMac Real Estate. For all your real estate needs, 405-0793. Retiredtoarkansas.net.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Busy week.
Good.
Busy week. I want to thank Gary Stubenthal from Beeman and Randall Messick from our East office and my honey. And we got 3 properties closed this week, help people move on with their life. The market is still going forward. We have a couple that's in from Illinois. We've got a couple that's coming up from Texas this weekend. So people are still looking to buy. Now's the time. Now's what the adults, as I call them, that are coming. They're starting to move around. The kids are in school, and those that don't have kids or may have grandkids, and it's still beautiful to travel, and the temperature's a little nicer. But it's easier to get in and out of the restaurants. It's easier to go fishing. The resorts aren't as crowded.
Did you know the Corps of Engineers extended the time for the Corps parks around here till October 31?
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
great. And that's the type of thing, people that are coming down and they're camping and that maybe did, like I say, didn't travel during the summer, in the heat of the summer, but they're coming now. We went down to Conway last week for a class from Century 21. And there were a huge number of people with trailers and these big motor homes driving around. So people are traveling, and this is part of the travel. And the market has been very active. This past week was a great week actually, and the number of people that are here looking and houses that are going under contract. And I've been the broker for the past couple of days, and I've signed a ton of stuff in the office of offers and counter offers and things that are getting done, repair addendums, and all of the things that go into a successful closing of the home. This week, today, actually I think it's tomorrow, the new rules for the financing are going to come in. There's some different windows, as it were, they're going to be open. There's 3-day things that are here and 4 days of this, and you can't disclose that, and it's going to add a little more time to everything because it's going to take a while for all this stuff to shake out as part of Dodd-Frank and part of the banking things. Part of the issue is that these were nationwide issues. They weren't Mountain Home, Flippin' Yellville, Ozark issues. These were nationwide things. But the fines are just killers. So the banks are going to be extra careful. The closing companies are going to be extra careful, and rightfully so, because if I was a federal regulator and I was looking to justify my existence, would I go to Chase and have to look at 2,000 files, or would I go to First Security and have to look at 300 and find something that is there? And I think that's, and they should be aware of that, and it's not whether it's here or some little town is going to end up getting spanked. And it's almost like they're trying to force these small banks out of business because they won't. It's going to be so expensive and so difficult for them to keep up with this federal regulation. I mean, it's just, elections have consequences, folks, and these are part of the consequences of elections. And we may kind of fool them and say, oh, no, they do have consequences. And the judges that get elected, and we as a society need to be more aware of the things that go on. Mentioned the Veterans Picnic tomorrow from 11 to 1 in Hickory Park. Next week at the East office, the Classic Chevy Club is going to have a car show.
Why do you do this every time I go to Nashville?
Well, we knew you were going to be gone. We knew it was safe that you wouldn't bring any of those Chrysler things over to
Darn. It has to sit in my driveway another year.
Well, you can bring it over. Just park it over there Friday night, and you can pick it up again on Monday. That's fine.
I can do that.
And there'll be food, and there'll be music and a DJ, and there'll be cookies and all of the things that go with a Classic Chevy Club event. Really cool. We should bring you and your wrenches because you could probably do pretty well out there.
Yeah, it is a Chevy Club, right?
It is.
Oh, I got that one in. Yeah, that's okay. 2 this week.
Good. That was good. That was almost good. Cubs are going to the... No, never mind.
So are the Cardinals.
And Turkey Trot is next week, the 9th and the 10th. It starts Friday. I think we start like at noon on Friday, and there'll be booths and entertainment and music and games, and I know the Republicans are going to have two booths there.
Really?
We've got a game booth. We're going to have our straw poll that we had a great time with when we had Music on the Square, and we sponsored that. We had a really good turnout for that. So if you're going to come to the turkey trot, please stop by the booth and cast your straw into your candidate's can, and we'll take them all up. That's right. And we sent them actually to the candidates and everything. We had a couple of their campaigns respond. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. This week, there were 45 new listings came on, 18 parcels of land, 1 commercial property, and 26 homes came on the market. And the homes came on in a range of $47,000 to $350,000. And the average price this week was $203,000.
Wow.
There were 44 sales this week.
Wow.
Yeah. 44 sales, 6 parcels of land, 1 commercial property, 34 homes closed this week. They closed in a range of $40,000 to $318,000. Average sale price was $137,000. The average listed price, that can't be right when they came on. That can't be right. It should be $146,000. Excuse me. 230 days on market, but $4.6 million in real estate closed this week.
Good grief!
In residential real estate.
That's way. What were you? 2.6, 2.7?
Yeah. We've been in. Yeah. So I mean, it was just.
Essential has been averaging
but
like
the volume
3.2, 3.1.
Yeah.
What was
the volume
it?
to go over to have 34 homes close in a week. That's a big number. So.
But you went through some printer cartridges on that one.
Well, I mean, the closing companies and the banks and everybody that's got to hustle and get all the things done. And it's a matter of the time that it's going to take to get some of these done now. So we'll probably be looking, I'm thinking with our sellers, we'll probably be looking for like 5 days after closing to be able to stay in the house just to make sure that it closes on time, to be able to get the moving companies there. There's only a couple moving companies here in Mountain Home. And when you've got that many people trying to get out or trying to get in at one time, that puts a big strain on them. And we've got a house that we're trying to get closed early, and they can't get a moving company until like the 17th of the month. So that's one of the bigger issues that we're running into. It's all the logistical things that go into it. It's not just getting the house sold and getting a qualified buyer to put a qualified offer in and an acceptance. It's all the other things that go into it, getting the inspections done, and that's what we do. You know, when I get done here, I'm going over to a house because I got to let Joe Flowers in to check the foundation and support a beam that's underneath it. Those are just the things that you run into all the time. You know, there's always something going on. You know, it's not just sitting around. It's not just dressing pretty. Or somebody say dressing pretty, driving people around and collecting a check, and not so much. I
not
mean,
when you move $4 million in a week.
This is a job. I mean, it's not something you can just kind of take on lightly, because you also got people's futures. You got their psychological, mental well-being in your hands when you're trying to get
this time.
These
We're
done.
in the last quarter of the year.
Yeah,
they're already go to Walmart, go in the lawn and garden center. Look, they've got
they
Christmas trees up.
Yeah,
I mean, they're ready.
I went in Lowe's the other day and they had the aisle all tore up on the side. So I know and that's what it is. I mean,
because people want to get in, get settled, get out of the old house into the new,
exactly.
Get the decorations
people want to be moving. They just want to be able to move on with whatever it is, a part of their life that they're trying to do. That's the most important thing, is that they're trying to move on. Some are trying to move up. Some people that they've gotten new jobs. They're hired as teachers over at the school. They're working at the hospital, and they could we shouldn't rent anymore. It's time to buy something. Mm-hmm. Let's talk to a realtor. Let's go to the bank, which is the first place. If you come to me, that's the first place I'm going to send you, is back to your bank to find out where you can be, where you're comfortable, and so that it's not a strain on you. You know, you may want to buy a house that's $250. Reality may be that you need to be in the $195 range.
Right.
And to address that right away avoids a lot of aggravation, because once you enter that $250 house, the $195 is just never going to look the same.
Right.
You know, because it's going to need things. There's going to be things that are going to go on with it. So that's my job, is to make sure that you are happy at the end of the day, I never have to hide from anybody when I walk through Walmart. You won't see me ducking down in the between the clothing rack and stuff, trying to get away from people. I want people to come up to me and put their arm around me and say, "Hey, folks, this is Bob Zdora. He sold us our house. Him and Linda did a great job, and we're really happy."
That's good.
That's the deal. That's what we try to do. We try to do with all of them. Nobody bats 1,000, but we do. I think we do a pretty good job.
I agree. We're coming up to that time of year, though. We've discussed this over the last couple of years. Thanksgiving's coming up, Christmas, and all the holidays. And it's going to be, we had that same discussion. I remember sitting in a little house in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, where my dad and his brother say, "Mom, Dad, you ever going to downsize?" I mean, the house wasn't that big, but they had like 8 or 9 acres, and they mowed like 3 of it.
Yeah,
sure. When you're up in your early to mid 80s, and there's going to be that discussion this very year in a couple of months.
Sure. And we've
that's
helped
going to affect the real estate market right here.
We've helped people come in from being out a little bit and move them into a town, whether it's in Southern Meadows or a little condo over by the hospital or some of the other little condo complexes where you don't have to keep things up, where you don't have to maintain the grass and all of the things that go into that, because you do reach that point, and you don't want to be out there doing it, and you don't want to be out with the snow and all the other inclement things that are going to be coming. Well, although talking about snow, I mean, the concept of snow is a little different than people who come here. When you show them, they're like, "Really? That's winter?" Yes, that's winter. But it really is. It's winter for the people that are here. And when you're here, it's going to be winter. It's not what you're used to. It's not like the snow coming in November and staying through March.
This is not Madison, Wisconsin.
Exactly. So but people are happy. But you're right, as far as bringing people in from town, in from being out on some acreage and finding them someplace in town. And that is part of the business, because people don't want to leave here. It's such a great place, and they've got their churches, and they've got their doctors, and they've got their social life wrapped around this area here. And they don't want to go back to Cleveland. They don't want to go back to Dallas, whatever the case may be. They want to stay here and be active participants in what life is here. So let me hit this real quick.
Sure.
There's 976 houses on the MLS. So we're over 1,000 last week. So it's starting to tip down a little bit. Some of them have expired. A number of them is just sold. I mean, and some people are being more realistic with price. The idea that you can say, well, let's just put it out there and see what happens, and then be mad at the realtor because nobody came to look at the house. That's not on me. I have no trouble telling. If we show people where they need to be. They can believe me or not. Historically, I can go back and show them. I told this guy this is where he needed to be, and this is where he listed. 2 years later, this is where he sold. And it's worse than it was, from in their perspective. It's worse than it was when we told them we could have gotten them X, and they ended up with Q. So to get people on board and to be priced correctly, and not be sitting there saying, "Well, we'll see what happens," then don't be on the market. When you're ready to sell your home, we'll be glad to help you sell your home. That's what I do. We help people to sell their homes. More than just putting pretty pictures out there for your family to take a look at. Say, "Oh yeah, Mom's house looks real nice."
What was the total for this week? For what?
Total for this week was 4.6 in residential real estate closed.
4.6 real estate.
So for year to date, for 2014, there were 653 sales for $77.3 million. Pretty good. For 2015, there's been 709 sales for $87.4. So we're over $10 million over
year to date. Wow.
And last year, in December, year to date, we were like $5 million. So, and we still got another quarter to go.
Final 40 seconds for the news break.
Give us a call, 870-405-0793. Go to the webpage, retiretoarkansas.net. Take a look at your house. If you're listed with someone and you're getting ready to expire, or before you list with someone, more importantly, go and look and see how your home is going to be presented by that company, by that agent. Do they have a website? Does the company have a website? Go and take a look. See how you're out there. We have a magazine that comes out every other month. So our stuff is fresh all the time. Like I say, the website, the company website, our website, and just the presence of Century 21 in the marketplace is huge.
Bob and Linda Zdora, the Z-Team, Century 21 LeMac Real Estate for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. The website, retiredtoarkansas.net. Time for the news. Be right back.